Yo, 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 what's up, man? It's your boy Phil Walker. Check this out, man. Y'all know what it is. The Fix Sports TV show, man. Y'all know how we doing it out here, man. Sorry I'm getting with you boys so late, man. I had a busy day ahead of me. But we finally made it to the studio. We're finna wrap this thing up, man. We got a couple of different topics on the agenda tonight. One being the conclusion of the KO World Series of debate brackets. We're gonna conclude that because we did complete the pool play for the bracket. Um, King G Boxologist was the victor. He took the entire tournament. He won $850. Money Brown came in second place, and I believe Mr. D Free came in third place. Okay. So I'm glad those guys wrapped that up, man. That was something that was new to YouTube, man. They did a debate series about boxing. Um, I actually enjoyed the series. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to all the opponents that participated in it. It's not easy to get up there and do debates against, your counterparts, people that you conversate with every day, man. But with that being said, we did do a pool over here, okay? And we had people that filled out brackets. We do stuff like that over here on my channel. Uh, the March Madness brackets, we're gonna have uh, NFL brackets that people can fill out. Everything over here, man. You can win cash prizes and everything. But to conclude the actual debate series winner is King Boxologist again. But to conclude the winner of the bracket, it was a tie between Miss Winfrey and Zone 6. So, as you guys know, the cash prize was 150 bucks. But since you guys tied, I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to $200. You guys gonna get $100 a piece. I got your Cash App information, Zelle, whatever you want me to send it to, PayPal. I'm gonna make sure you guys get that payout. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, coming over, filling out the brackets. We didn't have very many people fill out the bracket. That's unfortunate because at the end of the day, it was free money. You know, it was free money over here, man. We giving away money, free money. All you had to do was fill out the bracket. You didn't even have to follow the debate series if you didn't want to. I'm the one that added up all the points, tallied up all the points, and followed the brackets and make sure that I had all the proper guys winning, so everybody can get their full credit. But at the end of the day, Zone 6 and Miss Winfrey, it was a two-way tie. And I will be distributing those funds. Like I said, it was 150 bucks for the winner, but considering that it was a two-way tie, we're gonna bump it up to $200 to make sure they get $100 a piece. With that being said, man, congratulations to King G for winning the tournament. Outside of that, man, right now, we are transitioning from this being just exclusively a boxing channel to more so a sports channel. You know, um, I love the boxing community. Um, these guys are the ones that inspired me to get behind this computer screen and start making content. But at the end of the day, my knowledge isn't just limited to boxing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a big time football guy, basketball guy. I love baseball as well. You know, my knowledge stretches beyond several different sports, several different avenues, man. With that being said, though, right now we have a big one going on, which is the NBA playoffs. Right now, unless you've been living underneath the rock, you know that the Denver Nuggets are playing against the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. Yesterday, they concluded Game 3. Um, Let me tell you this, man. It's been a very, very interesting finals. Miami got in, barely got in. They got in on the play-in, which is good for those guys because that goes to show you that as long as you make it to the dance, you might be able to go home with the girl. You dig? And right now, Miami is playing very, very well. Obviously, Denver's been playing well all season long. They have potentially one of the best players in the NBA on that team, Mr. Jokic. They call him the Joker. So if you haven't seen him play, man, he's a wonderful treat to see. You know, he's a generational talent. He does a lot of good things on that court. With that being said, I do think the Denver Nuggets has a complete team from top to bottom. The one thing that I notice about the Denver Nuggets is that they have a lot of size. You know, they are a very, very large team, man. And those guys hustle. You know, I'm a big hustle guy. So anybody that's out there going full speed, full throttle, 110% at all times, man, you got to respect that because, you know, professional sports, any sports really, especially at the pro level, considering that these guys have been playing, um, you know, they playing 80 games and then the playoffs, you know, you got to respect that, man, because those guys out there are performing at a very, very high level against the best in the world. Um, as I was saying, yes. So yesterday, they concluded game three. Denver pulled it off. They end up beating Miami in Miami, which is very interesting because game two, the Miami Heat defeated the Denver Nuggets. So this was the first game that the Denver Nuggets had lost all playoffs. So these guys were pretty much batting 100%. These guys were undefeated in the playoffs. Um, and I mean, that's a big win if you can go into Denver and steal one. And that's what the Miami Heat did. Their superstars played good. Jimmy Butler played amazing. As you know, he does most of the time, man. You know, he's a very, very good talent as well. Hype Low, man, what's up, brother? I appreciate you stopping in and hollering at me, man. Yes, game three was definitely a blowout. But nevertheless, you know, it's NBA Finals, man. You never know what to expect in the NBA Finals. Um, but yeah, back to game two. Miami stole game two in Denver. Now that was a big win. Because like I said, Denver was undefeated during the playoffs at home. So for Miami to go in there and take that game and have an opportunity to go up on those guys, two games because they were going home to Miami the next game in game three, that would have been major. Unfortunately, as my man Hyplo mentioned in the chat, Denver blew Miami out yesterday. It was a close game all the way up to halftime, man. But for whatever reason, Miami just couldn't get any buckets, man. They were getting out hustled on the boards. It was pretty bad, man. It was pretty bad, and they couldn't stop those guys. They couldn't buy stop. So Denver superstars played really, really well. You know, when you have Murray and the Joker out there and they playing at a high level, along with all those other guys, Gordon, defending Jimmy Butler, you're going to have a lot of issues defeating the Denver Nuggets when they're playing well on defense. The offense is going to be there. You know, they've been having one of the best offenses all season long. Um, you know, these guys can score a multitude of different ways. They shoot well. Obviously, the Joker can score on any spot on the court. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, he's a generational talent. But my main concern is this right here. When you compare the two teams and you stack them up against one another, and you think about the superstars that each team has, you know, Denver having the Joker and Murray, and Miami having Butler and Bam. I mean, come on. Murray and the Joker is obviously, to me personally, better than Bam and Jimmy Butler. So, if you can have a situation where your superstars can play well, I think Denver wins the game every single time. But unfortunately, what happened in game two, Murray did not step up to the plate, and Miami was able to sneak one out of Denver. Now, yesterday on game three, I don't think Jimmy Butler played well. He did score a lot of points, but he shot the ball a lot. I think he wanted to make sure that he had the green light. He wanted to make sure his offense was up to par just in case they needed him to score. And he did that, but I think it was at the cost of taking way too many shots early in the first half. I want to say in the first half, I think he took close anywhere between 15 and 20 shots. I don't have the stats right here in front of me, but I think it was anywhere between 15 and 20 shots. But he had like maybe 14, 16 points in the first half, which sounds good, but the efficiency just wasn't there. You have to be very, very efficient when you're going against the Denver Nuggets because those guys are freaking scoring machines. Murray, Joker, Gordon on the defensive end, you know, it's going to be hard to beat those guys because they are a very, very complete team. Hype Low, I agree with you. This might be Denver's year. It might be Denver's year. I don't know, man. The Joker's been trying to get him one, and I think they're in a position to pull it off this year. Now, I'm going to tell you from a personal standpoint, I like the Miami Heat because I like Jimmy Butler. I think he's a very, very good player. Now, the only question that I raise with Jimmy Butler is he a true one? Is he a superstar? Some people say yes, some people say no, some people say that he's overrated. To me, I think it all depends on who those guys are playing. On some nights, he does absolutely look like the main guy. He looks like a superstar. He looks like a number one. He looks like the guy that's going to get them over that hump. And then some nights he just comes out and he's just doing what he needs to do to get the win for his team. Now, either way, at the end of the day, getting the W is all that matters, right? You know, I would think that most of these NBA players would agree that they don't care how they get the win. They don't care if they score 1,000,000 points. They don't care if they score 7 points. As long as they get the W, that's all that matters to them. Um, so, you know, sometimes Jimmy Butler is that guy, but you can't count on him to absolutely play defense if his offense isn't there. And he's just one of those guys that lead the team by honestly, man, I think by his actions, you know, from the things that I read about him, the things that Pat Riley says about him, Coach Spoelstra says about him, that he leads by example in practice and he's a class act. So those guys don't mind following Jimmy Butler. But with that being said, on the flip side, you got Joker and Murray. I mean, man, Murray is on fire, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know he was gonna be the same guy after coming off that injury a year or so back. But man, I think he is back to himself, and he is looking like he's back to himself because he is playing at a very, very high level. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Denver right now looks really, really good. Let me jump into the chat, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to my man Mark Nash TV, my man Hype Low in there. Yeah, Hype Low. I did see that people were trying to compare Jokic to Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah. Man, I'll be honest with you, man. It's way too early, right? Everybody knows what Chamberlain accomplished in his career. Joker has not even hit, as far as team accolades, he has not hit any of those avenues yet that Wilt Chamberlain has. So to even make the comparison, man, I think it's just ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? Wilt Chamberlain is on right is a legend, man. I mean, you can go and look at the statistics. Not only the statistics, you can go and look at the championships. So when you talk about Wilt Chamberlain and Joker, it does not even need to be in the same sentence, let alone the same, you know, atmosphere. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you know, it is what it is, man. Look, So he said, "Will convince Jokic and jump over his head." Yeah, I'm pretty sure he probably could, man. you know, the stories that I hear about Will Chamberlain, man, are crazy. Man, they're just like almost like fairy tales in a sense, man. Um, it's a lot of guys. You got Will Chamberlain, you got Kareem. All those guys are legendary guys, man. You know, but yeah, man, it's a little bit too early to be throwing Jokic into that conversation with those legends, and I think he knows that, man. He's knowledgeable. I don't think he's making these claims. Obviously, it's the fans that's putting that in the atmosphere. Um, but with that being said, man, he is a generational talent. And I do see him being good for the NBA for a very, very long time, as long as he can stay healthy. Right. So, um, yeah, man, I think this may be Denver's year, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pulling for Miami, man. I'm pulling for Jimmy Butler, man. He's from out this way in Texas. So I'm going to ride with my Texas boy on this one. Uh, to transition outside of the NBA Finals. I'm just going to just flat out say it, man. I want to see what's going to happen next year with LeBron James. I don't know if he's going to retire. I don't know if he is going to stick around. I have no idea, man. The guy's been playing at a very, very high level for a very, very long time. And right now, I think everybody is just waiting to see what LeBron James is going to do next year. I think this year took a lot out of him to participate in these playoffs. And he may be to the point that he's like, man, you know what? I think I might want to hang it up. Now, I will say this right here. Would I hang it up after averaging 29 points a game for a full season? I don't know, because that is definitely still playing at an extremely high level. I mean, an extremely high level. 29 points a game is nothing to sneeze at. And those guys performed well in the NBA Finals. They just ran across Denver, which is absolutely a monstrous team. A monstrous team. Obviously, the Lakers are a very seasoned team, but they did make some trades before the deadline that really, to me personally, elevated their team in spots that it needed to be elevated in, and they got some of those older guys out of there. you know. Um, and Coach Ham, man, he's doing a hell of a job over there, man. I think he's doing a wonderful job. I think they're still just missing a few key pieces because LeBron James is up in age. He cannot do it by himself. AD plays when he wants to play, if he's not hurt. The main thing with those guys is consistency. When I really just speak it into existence, those guys are not very consistent over there in LA. You understand what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, I'm curious to see what LeBron James is going to do next season, because I do like him for the NBA, man. He's one of my favorite players. He has been one of my favorite players since the beginning of time, since he dropped down in the league as a rookie. Um, with that being said, man, uh, Doc Rivers. Where's Doc Rivers go from here, right? Um, I'm I'm not going to say that Doc Rivers isn't a good coach, but what I will say is Doc Rivers has had very, very good teams. And with that being said, he has not produced since he was with the Celtics. He's had a really, really good team, but he has not produced the results that people are looking for, which is championships. So it comes a point in time where you're going to have to say, is this Doc Rivers, or is this the GM, or is it a combination of both? Are these guys not comprehending the offense, the defensive schemes? What is the issue? Because from my understanding, Doc Rivers is supposed to be a great coach, a great coach. And once upon a time, I really did believe that. But I'm a results guy. And as far as I'm concerned, he hadn't been yielding the results that would suggest that. Hence why he's not working at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So he's not working at the moment unless, something got by me and some other team has hired Doc Rivers. But man, he has been super duper fortunate, man, to get on some very, very talented teams, but those guys have not been able to get over the hump. So I'm curious to see what his future has in store for Doc Rivers, man, because sometimes people say it's the system. Sometimes people say that it's the players within the system. I think it's a combination of all of that, right? Perfect timing, perfect players, perfect system, and a good coach that these players can buy into. Right now, man, I don't know if Doc Rivers is that guy. So, with that being said, I wish him all the best. But brother, you got to step it up. You got to step it up, man. You're gonna have to at some point start to live up to the expectation that people hold you to. Um, and I get it, man. This is the professional sports is hard, man. You know, people like to make light at your LeBron James going to the finals 10 times and only winning four. But the truth of the matter is, it's hard to get there, man. And even harder to win. I know a lot of people like to bring the Jordan deal in there, went to six and won six. And let me tell you something, that's batting 100%, and that's amazing. But let's not overlook the fact that it is difficult to get to the NBA Finals or Super Bowl or World Series. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, the NBA right now has evolved into something that is a league that is supposedly supposed to be more entertaining because these guys are scoring more points. All these guys supposedly can shoot 3-pointers now. Most of your bigs can bring the ball up the court. But a lot of these bigs, man, they're not your traditional bigs like from the 90s. You understand what I'm saying? The 80s, 90s, the 70s. These guys were really bigs, where if you got to the rim, these guys would contest your shot. You may get fouled, you may not get fouled, you might get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the hostility in the game. I'm talking about these guys being able to contest the shots at the rim. You understand what I'm saying? But, in today's NBA, you don't have these guys that are contesting shots at the rim because most of these guys are shooting from the 3-point line, shooting from the elbow, shooting from the free throw line. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. But I would like to see guys that will contest shots. Because think about it, man. A lot of these guys get to the rim, man, and it's layup central. It wasn't like that when Mutombo and these guys were playing. Kareem, these guys would watch shit in the stands. You understand what I'm saying? Akeem Olajuwon, Ben Wallace. You understand what I'm saying? So look, man, at the end of the day, man, the NBA has evolved into a game where it is heavily driven on people scoring and shooting the ball a hell of a whole lot. It's not a lot of defensive witches out there, man, in today's NBA. And I mean, if that's what people want to see, that's cool. I'm going to tune into it because obviously I like certain players. Like I said, one of my favorite players, Jimmy Butler, is participating in the finals as we speak. And I like watching Joker because he is a generational talent, but he's not your traditional big man. You understand what I'm saying? He's not your traditional big man. And there's nothing wrong with that because we can't stop evolution, man. The game is going to change, whether it's for the better, whether it's for the worse. And truth be told, whatever era you grew up in, you mainly think that's the best era, right? A lot of guys do not like to concede their era is not the best era. But I do think the players now are more skilled because I think they can do a lot more. I think they can do a lot more. But I think the game was played different back then, so it looked a lot different. You know, it looked a hell of a whole lot different. So this is what I'm about to do, man. I'm finna put this link in the chat. Anybody that wants to jump in and talk about the NBA finals or anything for that nature, man, go ahead and speak your piece. All right, that's the chat, right? That's the link. It's dropped in the chat. We got Dub right side in here, man. Appreciate you coming through, supporting the channel, brother. You see me, man. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Dallas Cowboys football season is coming up. Y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is over here in the Big Texas, dog. Y'all know what it is, man. College football coming up. Y'all know what it is, man. Hey, Texas, high school football coming up. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody know if you a thief and you want to steal from somebody's house, just wait after 7:30 on a Friday night. Ain't nobody gonna be home. They all gonna be at football games all over the state. Cause that's how we do it, man. That's why we put out the biggest and the best worldwide, and y'all know it's true. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely, man. So hold on, I got somebody jumping in right here. All right, man. We got my man Hyplo.
Mr. Fix.
What's up, boss?
What's up, bro? It just so happens, like I used to be a huge basketball fan as a kid. Actually, like stopped liking it as much when they brought back the third ref. But I happen to be watching this current.
You're breaking up, Hyplo.
Am I cutting out?
All right, you back now, boss.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's this there's these weird spots where I lose signal. But yeah, I was saying like I just so happen to be watching the signal, the game, and yeah, I watched the first 3 games. Like, bro, like it's a pretty good series, but they're overblowing that dude. He's good. He's very good, but come on, man. Fucking Chamberlain? Are you kidding me? Am I frozen?
Yeah, nah. You good? No, I'm listening to you. So, yeah, man. Will Chamberlain, man, is one of those
Dude,
kind
do
of
you
players,
realize
man.
how strong that guy was? How
Oh
high
yeah,
he could
man.
jump
Oh
for a
yeah.
guy that size? What was he? 7'3"?
Yes.
He had a vertical leap like Spud Webb type vertical leap.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy can't really jump, bro. I mean, he's a good passer and he's a good shooter from the outside.
Yeah.
Probably better outside shooter than Chamberlain, but that's it. Like that's maybe the only thing he would have over Chamberlain. If he had to play against Chamberlain, though, in that era, bro, I mean, well, maybe in Chamberlain's era, he could be a center, but not in the 80s, bro. Not with your, Robert Parrish, your Kareem, and your Patrick Ewing, and those type of guys. They would have eaten him alive, bro. In my opinion.
Yeah, let me tell you something, man. So as far as just like when you talk about Wilt Chamberlain, he was very, very gifted as far as his athletic ability. From my understanding, the guy ran like a 10 flat 100. You understand what I'm saying? They said he bench
freakishly
pressed over
strong. Freakishly
yes,
strong.
Exactly. He bench pressed over 500 pounds. He was just a monster on all levels, man. I think he wouldn't have a problem guarding Joker. Let me just say that. Like you said, I do think Joker does things better than him, like as far as being a better outside shooter.
Yeah, I saw him drain a couple threes in that last thing. This is the first 3 games I've ever seen this guy play, by the way.
Yeah. So,
So I'd never seen the guy play until these last 3 games. So, I think he's good for sure. But I mean, I don't know why people have this tendency, like as soon as someone does anything good, they're like better than the best person who ever fucking played. They did it with fucking Floyd and Sugar Ray Robinson too. And I don't like that shit. But I don't have that much to offer on this. I just want to come through and say what's up and give you a shout out and come by the show. I'll be listening.
Okay, man.
All right, fellas.
All right, Hype Low, man. Appreciate you stopping in. We got my man Dub right side, man, joining the show, man. Dub, man, first and foremost, man, let me get your opinions and your thoughts about the conclusion of the KO World Series boxing debate.
Well, first things first, man. Shout out to you, my brother. Much love to you. You know, I got to come through and show you love. I saw your call, brother. I saw your call, man. I ain't gonna hold you. The last few days I was down, you know what I'm saying? I've been under the weather and shit, so I wasn't able to judge the last round and those type of things. But man, it was a great round, both rounds. Both rounds were great rounds. You know what I'm saying? I thought that King G, Money Brown, I thought that was a great debate. Me personally, I had it 2-1. Well, I ain't gonna. I had it 3-0. King G. I had it 3-0. King G.
Okay.
As far as me judging it, and that was me from not being able to be there. I thought King G won the first round as well. I know the judges. All 3 of the judges gave King or gave Money the first round. I thought that King G won the first round, the second round as well, and the third round. That's how I would have judged it. But I also judged it 2-1 for D Free for versus King G. So it is what it is. This is how I was looking at how things played out. But I thought it was beautiful, man. It was something that I was able to learn from. I gained not different pieces of knowledge from. There were times as a judge where I found myself going in and researching to fact check individuals on things that they were saying, those type of things. So, and I think I know boxing, right? I think I do, but hey, the brothers, they were bringing out great points. I thought it was King G representing himself very well. I was very proud of the brother. Money, same thing. D Free, and I wanted to hear Tony, man. I really wanted to hear Tony. I'm a fan of Tony reviews myself. When I say that, I mean I done been on the panel with the brother multiple times, and so I want to hear him cook, bro, because I know I done heard Tony cook multiple times, and people want to shit on him for different reasons, just that whatever. But the brother got great boxing knowledge, and I was excited to hear him cook. But I thought it worked out the way it was supposed to. I thought that King G he won, in my opinion. I thought King G won, and shout out to him. I thought Money put on a hell of a performance. I will say, the last question in that debate, which with me having it 3-0 anyways, I had already given it to King G, but the last question, I didn't think that last question was it was a hard it was an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? It was an uphill battle for Money in that situation. But overall, man, I have no complaints. And man, I wish I could have covered it like I wanted to, but hey, it is what it is. I'm getting back on my feet. That's why I'm over here right now. To get back on.
Hey, man, it's all good, man. I appreciate you coming through and hollering at me, man.
And I gotta tell you, if you don't know, now you know. Me and you, we rock the same way. Them damn Cowboys, we gotta see something. I'm a Georgia boy through and through. I'm a Hawks fan. I'm a Dogs fan, right? I'm a Braves fan. But I rock with them Cowboys. Fuck the Falcons. I rock with them Cowboys. It is what it is.
Nah, it's all good. Hey, look, let me tell you something, man. Hey, you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. That's good enough right there.
I hear you talking, and I'm gonna tell you, when you say that college football, when you say that recruiting talk, when you say anything with that high school football. I don't know. I'm from Warner Robins, Georgia. Look up Warner Robins in Northside. You know what I'm saying? Look that game up. Look up Valdosta Lounge. I went to college in Valdosta, Georgia. Look up Valdosta Lounge. Look up them high school games right there. I know how Texas rock as far as that high school football goes. And so
it's going crazy.
Hey, and this is what we make our bread. This is where we make our money down here as well. And so, hey, I sit there and I talk with you all day about it, brother. We could talk all day about it.
Let me tell you something, man. I ain't got no problem with Georgia football, man. Y'all boys putting out a whole lot of big athletes, man. Hold on. Y'all sending a lot of cats to the league.
I be hoping we recruit some of them Texas athletes. I be hoping we get some of them dogs over there. Look.
Oh, yeah, man.
Y'all a tad bit bigger state now. Y'all a tad bit bigger. So y'all got a little more area to cover. But no, hey, we can speak on all of that. I'm rocking right here with you.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So let me jump back to the debate real quick, man.
Talk about it.
I did the bracket over here on my channel.
Yes, sir.
Miss Winfrey and Zone 6 tied for the bracket. So we're gonna cash them out, man. It was gonna be $150, but considering it's a tie, I'm gonna bump it up to $200, give them $100 a piece, you know.
Send me a cash app. I'll send 100 to you, and you can break it off accordingly.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna put it back into the channel, man. So definitely, man. I'll send that to you, man. But I tell you what, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. So for me personally, man, I watched the last one that you judged with King G and D Free. I watched that one. Let me get your opinions about this, because I personally think that you're the only one that got the first round right with King G and D Free. Because
I think I scored that. I don't remember specifically. I think I scored that D Free.
You did. You scored that. Yeah.
And the reason being, if I remember correctly, I think King G, in my opinion, I think he was off. He seemed like he was off topic.
You know what?
And I thought he gave points, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Holyfield, Holyfield. Oh God damn, what's his name? Oh my God, give me a lifeline, brother. Give me a lifeline. It was the heavyweight, Holyfield.
Lennox, Bo. Who are you talking about?
Oh no, there we go. It wasn't Holyfield. Excuse me. It was Lennox. And Larry Holmes. God damn, I can't call it spade right now. Yeah. But I thought that when it came to the errors, I thought that King G, man, he actually gave credit to D Free's argument by speaking on a lot of those fighters in the fight. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of those fighters that he spoke on in the later rounds, and if you listen to the question was about the error. And I think that kind of threw both of them off, because with it being about the error, you have Lennox Lewis, so you need to be rocking on the 90s right now. You need to be speaking on the best in the 90s when you give it. And then with Holmes having that era of the 70s/80s kind of, I think D Free had a little more to cover. And when you start to give credit to those fighters in the 80s, I felt like that gave more credence to D Free argument as far as the era went. You know,
that was to me, that was almost like a concession.
Right. And it was a concession, although it was from a resume perspective. Right. And my thing was, I was like, man, I don't think he should have went resume in that situation at that time.
Not in that round. See, right. So all right, so this is my thing right here, right? I was scoring it over here, right? And
how did you score it?
I scored it 2-1 D Free.
I did too. I did too.
Yeah, I scored it 2-1 D Free. I think King G, that's my man, and we've talked about this, and I told him how I scored it as well. I do think that he did go off a topic. You understand what I'm saying? I think that when you break down the fighters from the 70s and the 80s, and you speak about the Hall of Famers that came out of that particular era versus the Hall of Famers that came out of the 90s, I mean, to me, it's no contest. Because this is the thing. When you talk about an era, it does not matter who fought who. It does not matter who lost against who. What matters is
who fought then.
Exactly. It's a pool of fighters. It's a pool of fighters. And when you select these fighters from that particular pool, who has the more talented pool? It does not matter who beat who.
Agreed.
I think that's why I gave D Free that first round. And I think you were the only one that gave D Free that first round. My man King G did a great job though. I gotta give it to him.
Oh no, he
did a great job at convincing BF and KO that it was a lot of resume-based things. And they gave him the round because he said that both those guys gave him the round for the same reason. He said that he beat more Hall of Famers. And that's what they said. And you said, no.
But you told me that there were more Hall of Famers in this era.
Exactly.
Although he beat more, and I gave him that. I gave him that concession. You told me he beat. I agree with you, but you also said it was 4 Hall of Famers versus 6 Hall of Famers.
Exactly. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter who won.
Right. It did. The question was about in my opinion. This is just my opinion as a judge. The question was about the error, and so I had to give it to D. I had to give it to D Free off of. And although I agreed with him, I agreed with King G. The problem was he conceded that there were more Hall of Famers in this era, which if there are more Hall of Famers, it makes the era better, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's just it's a no contest for me. When you talk about the Hall of Famers in that particular era, and then in sequence when my man King G spoke on the fighters that Larry Holmes didn't fight, he threw in more fighters from that particular era. And I said, well, God damn, you helping them out, King G. You're not helping yourself. Like, it don't matter who he didn't fight. Just keep them boys on the hush, man. You know what I'm saying? Keep them on the hush. Because I ain't finna give you nobody, because I don't care who you fought.
And I gave D Free credit because at the same time, what he did, he merged eras. He merged the 80s, the 70s and the 80s together and said, I'm gonna have the 70s and the 80s. You got the 90s and the 2000s. And then when King G didn't speak on what's the Russian brother name? I can't think of his name right now. Klitschko. When he didn't speak on Klitschko, you know what I'm saying? It was just like.
But the Klitschko's was in the 90s though.
But
I don't know why he didn't speak on them. And I'll be honest with you. The most disappointing thing that D Free didn't catch was, man, Mike Tyson is an 80s guy. His run was in the 80s. Once it got to the 90s, I mean, that was all Bo, Holyfield, and Lennox, and Big George. Oh, that was all those guys. It was their time in the 90s.
But I thought D Free made the right move by coupling the eras together, by coupling the 70s and 80s together, and saying you got to take the 90s and the 2000s. You know what I'm saying? By coupling it, I thought that's what really gave him the upper edge right there.
Yeah, but my thing is, and I agree with you, when he coupled it, it really did give him the upper hand. But this is the one thing I'm gonna tell you right here.
Talk to me.
I would have took Tyson though too. For the 80s.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
You can. I mean, because look, think about it. He lost to Buster Douglas in 1990.
In the 90s, yeah.
He lost to him in 1990.
Yeah.
It was barely 1990.
It was early that year.
It was early. And I mean, so when you talk about Tyson and his run, I mean, that run from, I think it was like 84 to 90, that shit was epic. That's really when Tyson was a monster. that was undisputed.
Yeah.
That's when he was the man.
The youngest undisputed. Yeah, yeah.
The youngest undisputed ever. So I think D. Free dropped the ball on that. See, you think about it like this right here. If you say, hey, look, and then this the thing, another thing he dropped the ball on, when did Tyson fight Larry Holmes? In the 80s. He fought him in the 80s. He didn't fight him in the 90s. He fought him in the 80s. So guess what? Even if Tyson beat my guy, it don't matter. He beat him in the 80s, that's my era.
He beat him in my time frame.
He beat him in my era. So I think D. Free dropped the ball on that. I think it was a couple of different things he could have, put out the hat. But like I said, King G did a hell of a job of convincing the judges, BF and KO, that it was more so about who beat who in which era. I think because they gave King G the round because they said that he beat more Hall of Famers. That's one of the reasons why they say they gave it to King G. And you gave it to D. Free for the opposite reason. So,
I always say it goes into how, and that's why I always say, man, how people look at the questions, how they read the questions. Judging is so subjective. You know what I mean? It's very hard to say anybody's right, wrong, regardless. You know what I mean? But the way I always do it, and it's interesting because when there are I ain't gonna say very subjective questions, but when questions do get subjective, I may read them a little differently than somebody else does. And so I find myself on the other side of the coin than they do off of how the question is presented. And so I think all that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? I think all that goes into it. Go ahead. I apologize for cutting you off.
No, you good, man. So since you said that, you talk about the perspectives. So this was so for me, I think for the most part, I think the judging was pretty good. D. Free and King G. But I did have a problem with, I don't think King G, I think it should have been a 3-0 sweep on that third round though. But BFTB gave it to D. Free. What do you think about that decision and BFTB's reasoning for giving D. Free
well,
that third round?
What was it?
I didn't like that.
What was the third? I'm gonna just be honest. I don't remember that close. What was the third round? And
that was resume, accolades, legacy.
I wish I would have caught you that day. I called you.
I called you.
You did. And well, man, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. If you notice, even during the debate, bro, I was on the downside of a little sickness that I had going on. A little, I don't know if stomach. I don't know exactly what I had going on, but I was on the downside of it. So I can't remember. I don't remember it just off the tip of my head exactly how it went. If I would say though, what break it down for me one more time? What was the question? Break it down all the way for me if you don't mind. And then
the question was who had they had to argue the accolades, they had to argue the legacy and the resume of those guys. That was the question in a nutshell. Honestly, man, I'm gonna be real with you. It's to me, it wasn't even close. The way boxologist King G broke his argument down for Lennox Lewis versus the way D. Free.
Oh no! I remember now. I got you. No, I agree. It wasn't a close. So I gave D. Free the argument with the jab. I thought he had a great argument with the jab.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I thought he broke the jab down very well. Hence the reason. Now I remember now. No, but when King G went into the resume, the way he broke it down, I mean, it was, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Rebuttal, all of that other stuff, I understand it, and you gotta bring those into account. But when you have a strong round like he had in that opening round, the things that he brought out when he spoke on the individual having a two-time lineal, beating more Hall of Famers. You know what I'm saying? Being more work. The man literally, and I remember as I was writing it down, I was like, when it went to the rebuttal round, I still wrote the rebuttal round points down, but my first round for King G, I remember having damn near 16 points that I wrote down as far as scoring blows, as far as I look at debate goes, you know what I'm saying? And for D Free, it was somewhere around 7 or 8. The rebuttal round, I mean, it means a lot. You can fix a lot of shit in your rebuttal round, but when it was such a lopsided round in the beginning, King G, man, the way he broke Lennox Lewis accolades down. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was beautiful, and so I didn't think it was any contest there in that third round.
Nah, it wasn't. Not to me, it wasn't.
And that although I will say though, like I said, I gave D Free the first round and I gave him the second round. I thought the way he and I did. I will say I did. Now it's coming back to me when I was talking about King G when he spoke on the swivel jab and kind of and he did say that he was kind of speaking on it in a fun manner or in a joking manner. I ain't listening to no jokes in a debate. I'm not listening.
Nah.
To
I don't think my boy knew what that was. I'm gonna be real with you.
And when he said that, it really it threw me when I thought he broke in the early round as far as the jab. And the reason I talk about that round, I didn't think the third round was close. In my personal opinion, the third round wasn't close at all. It was an easy round for King G. One thing listening to him debate, one thing I know about him now is when you talk about resumes and accolades, he's gonna break that down. He's gonna break resume and accolades down to the exact point that you want them broke down to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's very good at that.
I thought that in that round he showed up and showed out. And now if it was up to me, I thought that the game was over, but it's not up to me. It's a 3-judge system, so I thought that the game was over. But I think that I gave D Free 1. I gave D Free 2 as well. Everybody, I think they gave a King G 1. Everybody gave D Free 2, and then we all had to give King G 3 because
except for BF. BF gave D Free 3.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
And so, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I thought, man, King G came in with a hell of a
he did his thing.
He a hell of a debater.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
And I wish I could have judged the debate yesterday. But I ain't gonna hold you. I was hurting and I had to I took some meds and I was knocked out, bro. I was knocked out. You see, I ain't had no shows or nothing.
I saw that, man. I hadn't had a show in a while either, so I needed to jump on, man. But let me say this real quick. Round 2 with the jab. As King G, I talk to him all the time, and as somebody who's gonna keep it real and assess him from a debating standpoint, when I talk to my boy after the debate, I'm gonna keep it real with him. I'm gonna tell him what he could have did better. I'm gonna tell him, give him all praise for what he did well, because obviously this is an ongoing tournament, so you need to make sure you keep sharpening your tools. You dig what I'm saying? Because you never know what you're going to run into the next round, whether it would have been Tony or whether it would have been Money Brown or whoever the situation would have been. Obviously, Tony dropped out for his own personal reasons that, he communicated with KO about.
And I hope all that works out for that brother, man, because I'm a fan of Tony as well. I hope all that work out for him. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I told my man, King G, I said, bro, you know what you're talking about, but you need to get the boxing verbiage and terminology together.
brother. Tell me if on your opinion, and I'm gonna be honest. When the swivel jab was brought up, and he spoke and said, "I don't know what the swivel jab is," and then kind of went back and made fun and was like, "Nah, I was just joking about that." Nah, I ain't see it as no joke.
Nah, I don't think he knew. Maybe when he see it, he know it, but he don't know what it's called.
And when he went that route with it, I was like, if you don't know, I ain't gonna say if you don't know a terminology, anything like that you should be docked or anything. But when you, I don't know, it's just the swivel jab is. Go ahead.
You don't have to say I don't know what the swivel jab is.
Don't even speak on it.
I ain't never heard.
Don't even speak on it.
Yeah, I don't even speak on it. Yeah, I'm not even. I'm ignoring that shit.
Right.
Me personally.
Right.
Yeah, that's just me though. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I had to keep it real with my boy. I say, man, look, bro, you need to. I say, you know too much about this other stuff, bro. To
not
know.
To
not know. Yeah, exactly. You know, and you just need to, you know, he's talking about, you know, the jab that you throw from the hip. Okay, man, that's an up jab. Okay, so let's get
jab, rise jab, whatever you want to call it.
Up jab, rise jab.
Give me a name for it.
Yeah, because all this stuff has names that go with it. You dig what I'm saying? So I just told my man, I said, look, bro, you got to get your verbiage right. If you speak about this and it sound like you know what you're talking about, it'll make the round go a whole lot smoother, because I know a lot of people would say that, hey, man, I don't think it's even a comparison with Larry Holmes versus Lennox Lewis jab. But the truth of the matter is, I mean,
they both got great jabs now.
Yeah, you can definitely, if you know boxing, no, I'm just keeping it real. If you know boxing and you know the terminology, and you can explain what Lennox Lewis is doing when he's in the ring with his jab, I don't think it was a far gone conclusion. I think if my man would have been well versed on the terminology and the verbiage, I think he could have won round 2 as well. But obviously, he didn't. You know, it didn't matter, right? It didn't matter because he ended up pulling out round 1 and round 3. But me personally, man, shit, why not try to go for the sweep? You know, let's not make it close, right? And, you know, all you got to do is, man, go around gyms, go talk to trainers, man, just kind of hang out, man, be a gym rat in your spare time, man. And you'll learn all this terminology that these guys use. And if you do decide to debate, you can come in, man, or just in general conversation, you will have the tools you need to explain what it is that you're talking about.
It's funny. I ask you, right? And what I realized is that a lot of individuals use different terminologies for the same punch. They use different terminologies for that same punch, right? One of the OGs, KQKC, he'll tell you, sure. he'll tell you about the shovel jab, right? And I'm like, the shovel jab, you talking about, are we talking about the shovel hook? He was like, no, the shovel jab. And I'm like, okay, break the and I had to ask him, because when you say the shovel jab, I hadn't heard of the shovel jab, you know what I'm saying? So I asked him about it, and he broke the shovel jab down as far as his perspective, which really came into more or less a hook to the body, or not necessarily a hook, a lower uppercut to the body. You know what I'm saying? The shovel jab is what he would call it. And then it made sense when he was, because I listened to him call fights, and I'm like, man, OG, when you say the shovel jab, I done heard of the shovel hook, but I ain't never heard of a shovel jab. I ain't never heard of it. And so I had to ask him about it to get a better understanding of what he was speaking on. You know what I'm saying? And what I realize is that there are a lot of different individuals who, especially depending on where you come from, that see things differently and call punches differently than what the everyday person would call them. And so then I got an understanding of what he's speaking on, and it gave me a better understanding when I listened to him call fights. Saying that, I say that to say, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You learn what individuals are saying. Haplo, stop it, man. Stop it, Haplo. Shout out to Haplo, man. Shout out to Haplo. That's the big homie, man. That's the big homie. That's the big homie. So hey, Haplo, it is what it is. But no, I did have to go, and I heard different terminology that I really wasn't used to when I first came into this YouTube game, and I had to go reach out to individual and ask, man, like, bro, break it down for me so I understand what you're talking about when you're talking about this. And so it is what it is, man. Haplo,
you know,
man,
I'm gonna tell you something. You know, and I think that's a problem in the community too, man. You know, that's kind of why I'm transitioning to a sports platform and not just boxing. But obviously, you know, we wanted to conclude with the title, conclude the bracket wrap up. I just want to get your opinions because, you know, you was a judge, and this is the completion of the first tournament. Obviously, I think it's probably going to get better with each year, right? Maybe more participants, maybe more money, better questions. You know, whatever the situation may be, I do think you guys can progress from here. And obviously, I'm going to keep on having my brackets over here so people can come and get some of this free money. So, but
let me know how I can support you, brother. Let me know how I can support you.
Hey, it's all good, baby. I got that. You know, you locked in over here. So, but I do think that's part of the problem within the community, man. I think people don't like if you know, if you don't know something, boys would rather lie than to say, "Oh man, you know what? I don't know that. Let me go and get the information from somebody who does."
I'm on the complete opposite side.
Let me tell you something.
I'll be the first to tell you I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. It is what it is.
No, for real, man. You know, I wasn't always. Let me just put it to you like this, right? So the guys that's in the round table, it's a lot of OGs.
Shout out to y'all.
And these boys' boxing knowledge runs deep. I'm not gonna lie to you. So when I first came into the group with these guys, you understand what I'm saying? You know, and we call ourselves the round table because we communicate outside of
as you should.
Yeah, outside of online stuff, right? You know, we're friends. So man, you know, I had to play catch up for a long time, bro. Like for real. And I had to really go into basically, man, my bag and really research a lot of the stuff that these guys were talking about, stuff that I didn't know about. And, you know, they really pushed me to that threshold. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, these guys, like I say, knowledge runs deep. And, you know, one thing that these guys can contest and say is, I wasn't finna be capping. If I didn't know something, I would tell you, well, let me look that up. I need to research that because I don't have that information on hand. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna never cap or lie or act like, you know, I know something that I don't know because that ain't how I roll, man. So I think that's a problem within the community, man. Nobody wants to make concessions. Nobody wants to feel like they're wrong about something. Nobody, I mean, people
I will.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, you know, you need people that's gonna do that, though. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you know how I feel about the YouTube boxing community, man. It's supposed to be educational. You know what I mean?
Fun.
We supposed to be getting something out of this, man. You know, less banter and more passing along knowledge from one another. You dig? But yeah, man, I think that's a problem in the community, man. I think that's part of one of the reasons why I'm moving away from exclusively boxing. I'm still gonna talk boxing, obviously, because it's one of my favorite sports. But on to the sports, the fantasy football, fantasy basketball, March Madness basketball brackets. We're gonna do the pick'ems on the NFL. We doing all that on over here, man, on this channel. Me and Zone, we're gonna be rotating the shows, the times, and everything, man. So we're gonna bring something different, new, and it's a sports platform. Obviously, we're gonna talk about all sports because I do the baseball, basketball, football, the track and field, the powerlifting. Man, I do everything.
Yeah, I can't do all it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't do all of that.
Come and listen. We're gonna put you in there. Hey, I promise we're gonna put you in there. I promise you, because we finna bring in real live professionals that can speak to this sport. Either they done coached in it, either they done participated in it on a professional level or a collegiate level. I got the guys already lined up, from college football players. I'm talking about top football players in the country. You know what I mean? I'm talking about top coaches in the country. A lot of these guys, I'm letting them know what I'm doing, and they coming to holler at me and come on my show because I've been stand up with them. You know what I mean? So just make sure y'all tune into it, man, because we finna bring y'all some real fire, man, starting July for sure. So man, y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned into it, man. It's gonna be fun. Trust me on this.
No, hey, and I will say, man, at the end of the day, my thing when it comes toward boxing, one reason I started my channel, I agree with you. Ain't no way I can never find anybody who know everything about boxing. I can't. You ain't never gonna find that dude, right? But one thing, and one thing I always shout out to Haplo. Me and Haplo, we got it. My early days in this YouTube community, right? Haplo was one of the he was one of the OGs who kind of put me in my place. Oh, I wanted smoke with everybody. Then I realized that, and Haplo, he got up there and I was like, bro, I don't need smoke with everybody. Yeah, he know more than I do. He do. That's a fact. The thing is what I realized is I ain't gotta have smoke with everybody. What I should have is a platform for everybody to get their bars off. Let them express themselves, especially those individuals who may not know. Have a platform where you got individuals who do know, who don't know, who shit, man. Hey, one thing you can never say is I have a platform now simply off of wanting everybody to be able to speak on what they want to speak on. You know what I'm saying? You may be the most non-logical boxing fan I know, but I still want you to get your bars off because although you may not know now, you can get yours off. You can listen. People can rebuttal you, and then you can grow from what you hear, what you learn, and everybody can grow all the way around. And
absolutely,
that's what it's about. It ain't about proving nobody right, wrong. It's about growing. It's about learning. It's about individual having that opportunity to express themselves. Although you may be wrong than a motherfucker. You may be wrong. And I'll tell you you're wrong, but come back, keep cooking, and keep learning, keep listening. You're going to have people on the panel who are going to come at you. Are they coming at you personally? If they are, then I got to step in and stop it. But at the end of the day, as long as we keeping the boxing, man, hey, I'm all about it because I think that one thing, there's nowhere for casual fans to really learn the sport outside of YouTube. Where else are they going to go learn? Are they going to go to the gym? No, they're not going to go to the gym. Hell no.
The community is small, man. The YouTube community is small, right? Then when you stretch beyond the YouTube community, it gets even smaller. And then when you stretch beyond those guys, it's even smaller, right? So I agree with you. This is the place for casuals and people who want to pick up on the sport and get knowledge about the sport, man, on a fundamental level. This YouTube is good for that. Just like I said, YouTube is the best thing that's ever happened, and it's the worst thing that's ever happened. Because some people get on this motherfucker and don't just be doing anything. You dig what I'm saying?
A gift and a curse. A gift and a curse.
It's a gift. It's a gift and a curse, no doubt. For sure.
You tell me one thing. One thing that was good that didn't come with the negative. You can't.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's life. It comes with a balance. And so my thing is, hey, you could come in, you could be the most ignorant fan. You could be the most ignorant. You can come in, but we want to give you a place to get you to speak on what you believe, and then we want to allow people to speak on what you're talking about as well. And so it is what it is. It is what it is.
So let me ask you this right here. You know, speaking of balance, are you watching the NBA Finals?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Miami Heat got a chance to balance this thing out with Game 4. First and foremost, man, who are you going for in the series, if anybody, or who do you think is going to win? And do you think Miami can pull out that Game 4 to balance or even out the series down there in Miami?
It's in Miami. I think they can. It's interesting because of how the series has gone so far. It seems like home court really isn't a big factor in this situation. But the problem is, I don't think Miami has the talent outside of Jimmy Butler. And I'm a fan of Jimmy Butler. I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Butler. I don't think Miami has the talent to compete. You know what I'm saying with the Nuggets. Jokic, Jokic's skill set is above any, in my opinion. His skill set is above anybody on the opposite side. I think Jimmy Butler, playoff Jimmy Butler is somebody totally different. It's a dude that we don't you don't see on a regular basis, right? So I'm a fan of playoff Jimmy. The problem is man, Jokic, the way he's able to control the game, the things he brings to the game. If he wants to score, he can score, and then the way he scores is very unorthodox. But if you want to stop him from scoring, that's really where you're gonna get in trouble. If you look at how things happen, they're gonna force him to score as much as he can. Why? Because if you start getting everybody else involved, they fucked. So we got to make him score. We got to make him score. That's if we let him do anything else, if we let him pass the ball, if we let him start to get other people involved, especially when you got Michael Carter Williams out there shooting that bitch like he's shooting it now. You know what I'm saying? You got Murray out there, motherfucker. Man, stop it. Stop it.
So let me ask you this right here.
I just want to say this. Let me just say this.
Go ahead.
The Heat don't have the talent that the Nuggets do. They don't have the talent. And outside of Jimmy Butler, you tell me. And before you ask me, let me ask you one. Before you ask me a question, you tell me who is as talented as Jokic, as Murray, as Carter Williams. Who's that? And I forgot. My power forward, I can't even call his name right now. The jumper, the motherfucking jumper, light skinned nigga. What's his name? You
Gordon?
know who did that? Bam out of
Gordon, huh?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Gordon. Gordon? Yeah, he's a defensive guy.
Not, he been hooping on the offensive side as well.
Yeah. No, he been. So this is what I'm gonna say right here.
Now, and real quick before you. I want to ask you, who do you have winning the series? I'm telling you, I got the Nuggets winning the series. I got Jokic being the MVP, and I got it being, I got it going 6 games, 4-2 for the Nuggets. How do you see the series playing out, in your opinion?
So I agree with you, man. I think that Denver is a far more talented team than Miami. I think they have more depth. You know, the thing that illuminates the most outside of Jokic and Murray and Gordon, stuff like that, is how big they are, how rangy they are, how athletic they are, right? I think they have a wide array of talented players that mesh very, very well when they're all on the court, right? Thanks. And Jokic allows you to do that because he's not isolated to one particular spot on the court, right? He can bring the ball up. He can run the offense. He can go down there on the block and score. He can score on the wing. He gives you, he can pass. He literally can do everything. And because he can do everything, it makes them even more of an offensive threat than obviously Miami, right? You know, when you break the two teams down and you just assess the superstars in Jokic and Murray versus Butler, and it would be Bam, obviously, Butler and Bam. It's just no comparison, man. I spoke about that earlier in the show, man. To me, it's just no comparison. And when you talk about these guys, now I do like Miami's bench though.
They bench is nice, but
yeah, with Lowry coming off the bench, and most of the time, Lowry is in the game in clutch time in that fourth quarter, right? What's the kid name that's oh man, I can't think his name. He got hurt during the season.
Martin.
Martin and it's another one. Is it Duncan? Oh man, the rangy Caucasian kid. I can't think his name.
Yeah, Duncan. You're right, Duncan.
Yeah, Duncan. Yeah. He's man. He's playing well. He's coming off the bench as well, right? You got Lowry coming off the bench as well. I think Miami bench is doing well, but I just think the discrepancy is in the superstars, right? Because, like I say, if Jokic is playing well and Murray is playing well as both of those guys like they did in Game 3, it's a wrap, man. It's going to be too hard to compete with that offensively. And then you got Gordon, who's guarding Jimmy Butler. Everybody else, Jimmy Butler takes care of easily. Nobody can hold him except for Gordon, and he still has success against Gordon. But Gordon has the size, the strength, athletic ability to give Jimmy some complications throughout the game. That's why I think last game he wanted to get his offense going pretty early. That's why he shot so many shots early on in that first half. I think he shot like between 15 and 20 shots the first half, which is uncharacteristic for him because he's a very efficient player. But I think that has a lot to do with Gordon guarding him, right? But yeah, man, no, I agree, man. I think Denver is probably going to take this series without a doubt. They just have an overall better team. They've been good the entire season. This is not nothing that's just new. They've been good for the last several years. Let's just, call it like it is. They just hadn't been able to get over the hump. But this year they have assembled a well-rounded group of individuals that's put them in a position to win this series. And I think they will win this series, although I'm rooting for the Miami Heat because Jimmy Butler is from down here in the Big Texas.
Stop it.
I'm rooting for Miami. And I like man, let me tell you something, man. I like Spoelstra too, man. I think he's probably the best coach in the league.
Spoelstra?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Think about what he's done since he's been in Miami.
No. He's done a hell of a job.
I'm trying to tell you.
When you say that,
I think he's the best coach, man. Because these guys, look, man, let me tell you something. The Heat got on a play-in.
And but listen, this is the thing. The Heat, and this is my personal opinion. And you gotta find, I understand that you gotta find you gotta find how things are gonna work. I understand it. It's just, bruh, when I think they've used Bam, I think they've used him wrong. I think they've used Kevin Love wrong. I think you could have got more production. And shout out to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler gonna show up. Tyler Hero, he gonna do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Actually, Caleb Martin, I didn't expect him to be the player that he was. I had him on my fantasy team.
And boy can ball. He can ball.
When I picked him up, I was like, bro, I didn't expect the production that he had. I didn't expect it. But at the same time, you don't think he could? I think he could have got more out of the talent that he had there, bro. Like, I just feel like he could have got. I ain't gonna say more because overall the talent is limited. But I mean, Duncan Robinson coming off the bench, Duncan Robinson may possibly be the best shooter in the league right now, possibly.
Yeah, he can shoot that thing. He can shoot that thing for sure.
You got to get him shots.
Yeah. Tyler Hero being hurt kind of screwed him up too.
I agree with that. I don't know. It just
I don't think that is the difference in the result though.
No.
Let me just put that out there.
I agree with that. At the end of the day, I think Denver's just a better team. And
yeah, man, you got Pope, Gordon.
Look, Caldwell Pope shooting threes out there, bit like he all. Remember when he couldn't hit a motherfucking shot with the Lakers. Couldn't hit a shot with the Lakers. And now he drained that bit, and he playing defense. Nah, I agree with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Good boy.
It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So yeah,
I gotta change the topic now. I gotta change it because I got smoke with you. I got smoke for you. We talking college football.
Okay.
We talking the Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay.
Two-time national championships winners. You know what I'm saying? Currently with the number one recruiting class.
Yeah.
Do you follow recruiting?
Yeah, I follow recruiting a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit or a lot bit now? Yeah, I need to know.
I follow it a little bit.
Okay, a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm gonna allow you to have this first. You a Texas? Are you a Texas fan?
No.
Who you rock with? I need to. I put it out there early. I put mine out there from the beginning. I'm a Dogs fan. I'm a Dogs fan. I'd have been. I can if you want my pedigree, I'll give you my pedigree. But I've been a Dogs.
So go ahead. All right. So let me say this right here. Right. I'm a football fan first before everything.
First and foremost, I got you.
First and foremost.
We territorial now. We territorial now.
Yeah, no, I like the Dogs. I like the program. It's a good program.
Kirby doing his thing.
Anytime you run across a good program, man, you got to give them salute, man, because I played ball and I know what these kids go through on a day-to-day basis. And for any coach to get those guys to come together and win like that on a consistent basis, man, it's a tall order to fill, and he's been doing it. So I like the Bulldogs. 100%. But for me, man, I'm a Oklahoma Sooner fan, bro.
Oh, you ride with the Sooners?
Yeah, I ride with the Sooners. Yeah.
No, don't tell me that. Don't tell me the Sooners.
I'm a Sooner.
Oklahoma. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I'm a Sooners fan. We in the rebuilding stage.
Hold on. How you rock? I gotta ask. How you rock? You a Texas boy, right? You from Texas?
Yeah, I'm from Texas, man.
How you rock with the Sooners over UT?
Man, look, bro. I'm gonna be real
not
with
Texas
you, man.
A&M. Not. I mean, y'all got a lot of programs over there.
Let me tell you something. I like A&M. I like Texas teams. You know what I mean? I like A&M. I have friends that play for A&M now. You know what I mean? Young guys that I saw grow up, come through high school football. Bryce Anderson is over there. He's from where I'm from, right? He's like number 10. He's the number 10 DB in the country, right?
I know Bryce. Where you from?
I'm from Beaumont.
Okay.
Beaumont, Texas.
Heard of it?
Yeah.
Hey, Texas is huge.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Beaumont, Texas used to be. This was a long time ago. They turned it into a basketball town now, but at one point in time, Beaumont was the football capital of the world per capita. Per capita.
Per capita. I got you.
Per capita. Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of. Let me tell you something. That particular area in general, which would be the Golden Triangle, Beaumont, Port Arthur, and Orange, Texas. That little area right there, Jamal Charles, Port Arthur, Earl Thomas, he's from Orange. All those guys are from that same little area. That's all guys that I grew up playing ball with. That were successful guys in the NFL. So in the league. So that area in general is filled with a lot. Southeast Texas, man, in general is filled with a shit ton.
I got 15 minutes for you, respectfully. I got 15 minutes for you. I got to take my black ass to sleep. I'm tired.
Oh yeah, me too, man. I got to be up Yeah, in a couple of hours.
but
I gotta be up in a
no,
couple
keep
hours.
cooking.
Yeah,
And keep
nah, but
cooking.
that yeah, I'm a Sooners fan, man, and I do
How you
follow.
Oklahoma? I just don't believe it.
Man, it's
They
it's
be
kind
trying
of
to put
weird,
hands
man.
on you down there, don't they? They be trying to put hands on you.
Nah, man, because look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Sooners fan, but I respect the sport.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing, man. When you respect the sport, you're a fan. You're not a fanatic. See, that's the difference.
No,
A lot
no,
of
no. I'm a
it
fanatic. I'm a
nah. See,
Georgia.
so nah, nah,
I'm
nah.
a
So
Georgia. Look. I'm a
I'm a fan.
Bulldog fanatic. I'm a.
I'm a fan.
I'm a. I'm gonna be honest with you. My partner, you know what I'm saying. Coming up, I played basketball. My partner, he played football. Right. He went to Georgia. When he went to Georgia, I went to Valdosta. I played ball at Valdosta. He went to Georgia to play ball. When he went up there, no, hell no, you man. After that, and this was in what 06. This was no 07. Well, it was really 06. Ever since then, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't rock with the dogs because my nigga was riding with the dogs. He was on the squad,
No, I
and
get it.
so
I get it.
ever since then, bro, I ride with it. Me and him now. When it's a dogs game, we cooking. Not hey. On if we ain't at the game because if it's if it's at Sanford Stadium, bro, we at that motherfucker. And hey, even if we probably gonna have a ticket, but even if we don't, we still going out tailgating out that motherfucker because that's how we rock. And so I rock with the dogs, and man, we kicking ass. We finna beat the shit. And the bad thing for y'all, respectfully,
Mm-hmm.
Kirby Smart, that nigga ain't got no heart for none of that bullshit. He ain't got no heart for it. He don't give a hey, all the being nice and yeah, I like y'all. Nah, damn all of that. I want the best. And if you can't cut it over here, take your ass somewhere else. Take your ass somewhere else. And it's crazy because I done seen 4-5 stars transfer from Georgia, right? I done seen it. Get what happened? Get why they transferred? Because they wasn't gonna get no motherfucking playing time. That's why they transferred. They won the goods at the time they came in that they could go be somewhere else, which is fine. Go show up and show out wherever you at. I ain't mad at that. But we gonna bring the best in, and if you can't cut it, you don't deserve to be here. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because my partner, man, he like I said, man, I hoop, man. I was a ball player. I could have went to Kansas, and that's a whole nother. I don't even want to get into that bullshit.
Oh
But
man, we gonna have a show about that because me, Ryan Clark, we both were collegiate athletes.
yeah,
And we're gonna have a show about that, man. So anybody else that was a collegiate athlete or had an opportunity to become a collegiate athlete, we're gonna talk about that process and how is it. How do you feel about how the recruiting is and the exposure is now versus when you were participating? So we're gonna have a show about that, man. I think that's
they get
important.
paid. They get paid to do the shit now. They get paid to do the shit
Man,
now.
let me tell you something, man.
This in that look. Y'all, nigga. I'll put it this way. I work with a couple individuals as far as high school athletes go, and I love working with the kid. Bro, that's one of my passions as far as sports go is helping others. You know what I'm saying? Succeed where I didn't succeed.
Yeah.
And one thing is the opportunities they have, especially with this NIL money, quote unquote money. That shit back then when we had this quote unquote money promised to you, scholarship wise, all that shit was totally different than what it is now. And I'm glad that they did it the way they're doing it because these kids do deserve it. But when you start to do these type of things, it do create separation, and it still creates an unfair advantage. It still does. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. We will definitely chop it up about that. Man, go ahead. I apologize. This is your show, man.
Nah, you good, man. I just was checking some stuff.
No, you
but
good.
No, yeah, man, we're gonna have an entire show about that, man. Like I said, man, we got kids that's in high school that's going to college next year. You know,
Do you
a couple
coach?
of these kids. No, I don't. I used to coach. I don't coach anymore. I just do. You know, man, out here, man. Let me just go ahead and tell y'all about that because I'm gonna do a show about this as well. Just over here in my community, man. You know, we do great things, activist type shit. You know, we give out scholarships, laptop, school supplies. We support young entrepreneurs. We do all of that down here, man, where I'm at. And during Juneteenth, we got Trade Day. Missouri City is dedicated to my nephew, Trey Thomas, who was a very, very gifted young man spiritually, first and foremost, as well as athletic ability, track star, football star. And, unfortunately, my nephew, he passed away. He ended up getting sick. But basically, man, what we do is
power.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Long live Trey Thomas. So, man, we have a nonprofit organization, man, where we reach out, help the youth. Like I said, man, we give out scholarships. So we've been doing that for the past 3 years. Trade Day coming up, like I said, Juneteenth. We're gonna give out more scholarships. We're gonna have young entrepreneurs there doing their thing. It's gonna be stuff for the kids to do. Man, it's gonna be a great event, man. So, I'm tapped into the high school athletics, the high school athletics, and as well as the college athletics, because a lot of these kids that we're supporting, they're student athletes. You understand what I'm saying? Once we give you the scholarship, you maintain your all the prerequisites to keep getting it every single, year or semester. And then, you come back and you just make sure you tell all the other kids, how it is that you got. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we can keep that cycle going, man. And we do stuff like flag football tournaments, 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. And, just to have my nephew's legacy live on, my other nephew right now, he's got the fastest hurdle time in the country. Track star, right? So
what's his name? What's his name?
Avion Davis.
Avion Davis. I'll look him up. I'm
He's
a novice. I'm a novice
going,
in track. I'm a novice.
Okay, he's going to Texas A&M.
Congratulations to the brother.
Yeah, he's gonna go to Texas A&M. So congratulations to him. He disappointed me. He told me he was gonna go to OU, but then when A&M came in, talking that NIL.
I told you. That money speak different. That money.
Yeah. You know what I mean. I ain't gonna say too much about that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna, like I say, man, we're gonna save that. We're gonna have a show about that specifically, man. But I'm finna wrap the show up, man.
Hold up. I gotta stop you from rapping your own show. Ain't nobody ever seen this. Ain't nobody seen the host get stopped from rapping their own show. I got one last question.
Okay.
Break the motherfucking Cowboys season down for me. What do we need? Who are we? What hold on now. And any way you want to go with it, I want to go with you. Break it down. What do we need? Who are we? What is this team? We got Mike McCarthy. We done got rid of Kellen Moore, right? I think that was a great thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
All them fucking curl routes get on my motherfucking nerves. You got, in my opinion, a top 5 quarterback in Dak Prescott.
Okay.
People will tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine.
Top. Yeah, he
Fine.
he's
Top 5, top 10,
top
whatever.
10 for sure. Top 10 for
Fine.
sure.
Fine. Now you have a Tony Pollard, right?
After the injury though, too.
And what we can speak if you want to speak on. I just
We
want
don't-
I want to put it out there for you to speak on it. Let me
Yeah,
put
we
it out
got
there
to
for you to speak on it.
we got to make sure Tony good.
You got a top 5 quarterback, or excuse me, a top 10 quarterback. In my opinion, a top 5 running back, but we're gonna say a top 10 running back, and Tony Pollard if he's healthy, right?
For sure.
Possibly the number 1 defensive player in the league in Michael Parsons.
Absolutely.
Possibly a top 5, not even possibly, in my opinion, a top 5 cornerback in Trayvon Diggs.
Absolutely.
The defense overall, right? Especially with what we've done with the interior line, which has always been a problem. Now that you brought in a Mozzie Smith, right? You brought in a Jonathan Hankins to couple with the individual you already had, Bohanna, DeMarcus Lawrence, right? You got a strong interior, right? We saw things from DeMonte Clark that we weren't expecting to see in this first year. We saw things from Sam Williams that we weren't expecting to see in his first year. Man, break the Cowboys down for me. Break them down to break it down to how you see them, and what do you see this season going for us? What do we need? I'm hearing thoughts. We got to talk about CeeDee Lamb as well, respectfully. I'm just trying to get everything in here before I pass it to you. I'm trying to get everything. In.
So I give a brief synopsis on just kind of piggyback off of some of the things you just said. I do think that the interior line is gotten very, very strong. Obviously, whenever you have Michael Parsons on your team, you definitely have a edge up on the competition without a doubt. Now, defensively, I think that obviously Diggs, you mentioned Diggs. I think we're good at the safety spot. Now, the other cornerback spot, it's a question mark because I don't know who's going to hold that spot down. Right?
Hold on, now we just went and picked up what's my brother's name from the Patriots?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
What's his name? Oh my God, I can't call his name right.
Stephon Gilmore.
Gilmore.
Yeah.
So now and then don't forget we had DaRon Bland last year. DaRon Bland was not supposed to be too much of anything. Shout out to my brother Kelvin Joseph, Boss Man Fat. I'm a big Boss Man Fat fan. I'm a fan of Boss Man.
Man, Boss Man.
Hey, you know what I call? You know what I call Boss Man?
Get him out of there.
Oh,
I hate Boss Man.
Hey,
yo, bro, every time Boss Man in the game, some bad shit happening, dog. I'll be like, God damn, get him out of there.
Hell no. Anthony, Anthony, what's his name?
Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown was the one.
Anthony Brown.
But look, you know what I call Boss Man? Shout out to my brother Vice Lombardi. I don't know if you know, but hey, gun under the seat guy. That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? He gun under the seat guy. That's Boss Man. Gun under the seat guy. Some type of way on the outside, just some type of way slid by a possible murder. Don't know how it happened. I don't know how it happened, but he slid by it. He slid by whatever happened. He's still there. The safety room is intact. Jerome Kearse, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Kearse
I said Jerome. Jaron Kearse.
Yeah, Jaron Kearse. I know you're talking about.
You still got Wilson out there, and you bringing in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? The 6'4" South Carolina, Israel. I hope I say his name, Mukuamu.
Yeah, I don't.
I hope I say it.
I don't know how to say his last name.
But that brother can play. That brother can play.
Yeah, you can play.
The safety room is intact.
Yeah, I think this my thing right here, right? So as far as that other cornerback spot is concerned, I think we're good. I need to see how Gilmore is going to look in Dan Quinn's system, right? Obviously, man, Gilmore is up in age. Gilly is cool, but I need to see it with my own eyes. Because I'm beyond the
name value.
Exactly, name value, right?
Bro, I'm with you.
Okay, so I'm beyond name value. I need to see what Gilly gonna look like when he get out there and strap up them pants.
He still should have a look. He should have something on the bone now. He got to have something on the bone.
I mean, I just need him to be better than Anthony Brown.
That ain't hard. That ain't hard. Stop. Look, listen, Boss Man. Listen.
We need to cut Boss Man, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
From what I done heard, they done move Boss Man to the safety room.
Okay, no, he'll be better back there.
But they done moved it to the safety room / the nickel corner spot, right? So my question, this is what scares me. See, look at him.
I don't want him covering nobody up close
ever. Don't tell me that.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you something. Look, let me put it to you like this real quick, man, in a nutshell. All right, so I'm a defensive guy, right?
Yeah. Me
okay,
too.
so all right.
Hey, look, I'll tell you this. I coached Little League for a good little minute. I was the defensive coordinator. I'm just gonna give you. I just want to give you my mindset real quick. When I was coaching, what was this? 7 and 8 year olds, right? I was the individual. Our team or our head coach wanted to run. What do he want to run? Like a 4-6. I don't know what he wanted to run. I was like, nope, we ain't running none of this shit. We're gonna run a 6. What we ran? We ran the 6-3-1. Hey, damn all that. If you're gonna throw the ball, you're gonna throw the ball. Nope, we coming forward on your motherfucking ass. And when we come forward, you better beat us before we get there. If you don't beat us, then we fucking you up. Everybody coming forward, not everybody, but goddamn it, we coming forward on your ass. The 6-3-1, you know what I'm saying? Respectfully, that shit moved. That shit was moving mountains out there, motherfucker, in my opinion. But hey, we won. So, but go ahead, my brother.
So, man, I did a little coaching myself, man, high school level in Texas.
Okay, high school style.
Yeah, I did. I coached in high school, man. Defensive coordinator. This is when Coach Prime was still coaching at Prime Prep down there in Dallas. We played against those guys a couple different times, but yeah, absolutely. So I was a DC.
Real quick, shout out to Lisa Bells, man. Shout out to Lisa.
Lisa, man, that's
I got so much love for Lisa,
man. Yeah, Lisa, that's my girl. Lisa been around for a long, long time, man. And,
hey, Lisa, one of the first people to help.
She a real one.
Hey, Lisa always told me, man. She get one thing she always said: keep going, right side, keep going. And sometimes you feel like you're down, but Lisa always then gave me that encouragement, man. I got so much love for the sister, man. So much.
Yeah,
love.
Lisa, a real one. Lisa, a real one for sure. But as far as the Cowboys, I think the weakest part of the defense is the linebacking core. I think we need to get more athletic linebackers on that back end, for me personally. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm going to argue with you. How many linebackers do you plan to play in the game?
Well, it just depends on what you want to do with Parsons.
No. Well, we know what you. All right. I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, it depends on what Dan Quinn want to do. Now
I gotta ask, what you gonna do with Parsons? Because you're gonna do the same thing I'm gonna do with Parsons. What you gonna do with him?
I need him coming off that edge. Personally.
I'm gonna rush the passer with him. Exactly.
Yeah, I need him coming off that edge.
When we speak on Parsons, what we're speaking on is that. Okay, we done took him out the linebacker core. I don't look at him as a linebacker anymore. If they use him there, cool. But at the end of the day, I don't look at him as a linebacker. I know we got Van Der Esch coming back.
They just extended Van Der Esch too.
Yeah, but this is the problem. When you brought Patrick when you brought Queen in, you haven't worked to not Queen.
I'm gonna say we don't have Queen.
Not Queen. The LSU dude. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know you're talking about.
We ain't seen nothing from him. He ain't shown no development. He ain't shown no improvement. What's his name?
Is it Quill? No, it's not Quill.
Any other day I would call his name. Because I'm talking to you, I can't call his name now. Now I gotta go Google shit. Hold on.
I know who you're talking about though. I know
but because we haven't seen. Go ahead.
Yeah, he ain't showed nothing though. He was hurt too though.
He was hurt, but the nigga that been there this is gonna be his third year. You ain't seen.
Yeah, but he been hurt too though. He been hurt. He been pretty banged up though.
So,
but he hadn't showed anything. But this is what I will say right here. I think the linebacking core has been outside of the one side on the defensive backs. I think the linebacking core has been the most unsteady group. You got to think about it, man. They end up re-signing Van Der Esch, but for a minute there, they didn't know if they wanted to keep him. Obviously,
Negro, you didn't want to keep respect. You didn't want to keep him. I didn't want to keep him.
I think he's good for certain stuff, right?
For what? One, maybe two, maybe depending on what the two down is. He good for one. He good for first down. Anything outside of that, I don't have nothing. Well, then if he run downhill, he might fuck his neck up and might not be able to play for the rest of the season. I'm just saying.
Man, let me tell you something. Fuck 1 or 2 downs. It depends on who we playing that week. I might not want you in this thing at all. All right, I'm gonna let you know. Hey, don't even pack your bags this week. We don't need you. But you get my point, though. He's a starting linebacker, though. He's a starter. He's a starter right now. You go to the roster. He's listed number 1 on the roster right now.
He decent.
So you get my sentiment when I say, okay, if Van Der Esch is the play caller.
Yeah. But
he the play caller. So that's from a defense
and this
side,
is why
I think we're gonna be solid all around except for that linebacker spot. Obviously we went and got your boy who stepped in late. Man, I can't think of his name, man. He stepped in late in the season.
What about your hold on. Your boy from Texas, DeMont, what's his name? And this is the problem. We got all these dudes and we got pieces in this situation that kind of got a feel. I don't know if they got a feel. Can we even when it comes to like the big nickel and shit, I might put J. Ryan Curse. I might bring his ass down and let him play linebacker with who. You just don't know right now as far as how we're gonna move at that linebacker position. You just don't know it yet. You know what I'm saying? But
that's my boy name.
Call his name.
Demarion, I think that's his name.
No, that's the one we just drafted.
Yeah, nah, I'm not talking about hold on.
Negro. All right.
So yeah, that's right. So Demarion, so it's gonna be the one we just drafted, Van Der Esch, and right now Micah Parsons. That's your 3 right there.
But I don't even think.
And then you got Clark.
DeMarvion Overshown.
Yeah.
I don't even know. He's not gonna play middle. He can't play middle.
He's gonna play outside.
So who that leave in the middle?
That's Van Der Esch.
Exactly.
Van Der Esch. That's what I'm saying. He the play caller. That's what I'm saying. Van Der Esch gonna be your play caller, and this is what I'm telling you right now. Michael Parsons right now is your other outside linebacker. That's what they got.
Jabril Cox. That's who we need to see something from. Is that if we can get something from Jabril Cox this season, But even Jabril Cox, he gonna play outside. We don't have no motherfucking middle linebackers, bro. We don't have middle linebackers. This is the only reason I have a trepidation about what I'm talking about. I'm a Georgia boy, right?
Yeah.
I watched Dan Quinn, right, when he was with the Falcons. I watched him go and draft what's the nigga name, man? The middle linebacker. I can't even think of his name. It don't matter. I watched him draft these small ass middle linebackers that can run fast than a motherfucker, right? And this is why I was so excited about Mozzie, because now when you bring in Mozzie, when you have a Jonathan Hankins as well as a Bohannon, when you have these big this big one tech, this big three tech, right? What they do? They grab they eat mother.
They extended Hankins, didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah. They brought Hankins back. So
Okay,
that's
they
why
extended
that's
him.
why
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. So when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
Mozzie, you got Mozzie gonna play the 3. You got Hankins and Bohannon to play the 1. What they gonna do? They gonna grab bodies, right?
Yeah.
They gonna let motherfuckers run free. And what a Dan Quinn like? Fast motherfuckers at the linebacker position. And so I feel like that although I can't see it, Dan Quinn is he much more cerebral than I am. He know way more about the sport of football than I do, and he can see a certain way to allow the individual to run free, play free, and if we can clog that middle shit up, regardless, we can do whatever else we need to do, and that's why I think they went and grabbed Mozzie. Think about this.
And look,
Last point. Last point.
Go ahead.
Mozzie Smith. Mozzie, this man is he can play 3 technique at 315. Where the fuck? Hell, 9 times out of 10, you get somebody at 315, they're gonna play the 1 technique.
Yeah, they're gonna be the nose.
But he can play the 3 technique because of his speed, his quickness. Hence the reason they picked him in the first round. And he can also take up them blocks. You know what I'm saying? He can gather motherfuckers with him. If I got a 3 technique who can do it with another motherfucker who damn near 400, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I got
you. But when I got a Jonathan Hankins, a Bohanna at the 1 technique, they taking up 2 blocks regardless. And now I got a Mozzie who he can penetrate with the quickness, but if necessary, he can gather 2 blocks with him. Oh shit, I got motherfuckers. That's 4 blocks on 2 people. I got motherfuckers running all the way around this motherfucker free. Then I got people running free. And when I have people running free on my defense, what that mean? Speed, power, closing. Oh no, we wreaking havoc out that bitch. We wreaking havoc. And so
this is why though. This is why I'm gonna tell you this right here. We're gonna wrap it up. This is why I think they knew they were going to do this. This is why I think Vander Esch won't be as bad because he will be able to. No, I'm keeping it real.
No, you're right.
He will be able to free flow a lot better. See, I don't think he's good. I don't think he's good at shedding blocks and making plays that way. Right?
Thanks.
You know, you got some guys that can shed blocks, make plays that way. I think he's going to be good for a nice downhill, fill the gap because he can tackle. He just sometimes when them linemen get their hands on him,
and he can read.
Yeah, just when them linemen get their hands on him, he be on them skates, man. That boy be on them skates, dog.
Hey, look, hands in the air. Look, you be like, where the hell you going, bro? Get your hands out there, man. Grab his ass.
Definitely, man. He be on them skates, man. We needed to clog that middle up. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be covered on the outside. You not finna get over that because you would think logically that people would try to get to the outside, see if they can kill us with the speed, but truth of the matter is you got Parsons sitting on the outside. You still got D Law sitting out there.
Sam Williams.
You got Williams, exactly. So
you got the speed outside.
You got the speed outside. So you gotta. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, they're gonna pass the ball on us though. They're gonna try to pass the ball because I don't really see them getting too much push up the middle, honestly, on the defense. And I think Vander Esch will be good. I think let me say this. I think he will be serviceable. Let me rephrase that.
Good and serviceable. They're two totally
different things. I think Vander Esch will be serviceable for the scheme that Dan Quinn is going to run with him. You know what I mean? So for me, man, I think we need to tighten up on that. Next draft, we need to go get us a nice speedy linebacker. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why they went and picked up Buddy from Texas, because if you're gonna play the way that you're playing, right? If you can put him at middle linebacker, I don't know if you can. Only way you can put him there if you keep him clean. That's the only way. But this is what they working to do. They working to keep backers clean. I listened to Mozzie Smith interview after the draft. Guess what the brother said?
What did he say?
My job is to take up blocks. I want to keep my backers clean, and after that, I want to go make plays. That's the dude I want on my team right there. That's the dude. Because if you thinking from the beginning, my first job is to keep my backers clean, I want you to make plays in the backfield. I do. But for the team to win, keep motherfuckers clean. If I got three motherfuckers that's going to keep motherfuckers clean, I got people running all over the motherfucking field. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. And so I think Dan Quinn, I trust Dan Quinn, bro.
I do, man. You know, he's reinvented himself, man. He's reinvented himself. And honestly, I know a lot of guys talk that head coach stuff, but Dan Quinn is, to me, he's been more effective on the defensive side of the ball throughout his entire career. It's no comparison. When he's on the defensive side of the ball, he's always got a top 10 defense, and they're always top 5 in turnovers. You understand what I'm saying? So he's where he needs to be in regards to his coaching position. And this is why when teams came to him telling him, hey, look, we want you to be the head guy. We want you to take over the program. He said, no, I'm going to sit right here in Dallas with this fucking monster defense that I have.
They tried to recruit his ass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, let me tell you something, bro. At the end of the day, you don't always get to coach generational talents like Michael Parsons and my man Diggs over there. So anytime you get a situation where you can do that, you want to stick around and make sure.
I need it.
Yeah. Look, man. Hey, my computer about to die, bro.
My bad, Phil. My bad, bro.
Hey, we're gonna wrap, man. I'm gonna keep you updated on the shows that we doing, man. You can jump in, put some questions in there, man. You can even throw some topics in there, cause like I said, it's gonna be a sports show, and I see you, man. You know your football, so I'm down with that 110%, bro. So we're gonna be in touch, man. Let me get up out of here. You got any last words? Let the people know where they can find you.
Hey man, y'all check me out at Dub Right Side, man. We go live. Shit, I don't know when we're gonna be going live. I ain't gonna hold you. We got some things going on, but man, I support the family, and man, Phil, man, you know what it is. It ain't nothing but love, respect, and you know how I rock. Anytime you live, man, if I can catch you, man, I'm gonna come over and show you love. Let me know when you're going live. You got my number, and thank you for allowing me to rock with you tonight, my brother. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Phil, you keep doing your thing, man. Y'all make sure y'all sub, hit the like button, and I appreciate you, brother. Much love.
All right, man. That's my boy Dub Right Side, man. He came through, dropping that football knowledge, man, on the panel today, talking about the Dallas Cowboys, talking about his Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, man, that's what I do, man. Football is my first love. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is a close second, but it's still second. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man, came into the show, man. We right at 2 hours, man. So I'm a salute everybody that came through. Lisa Bells, my man Hyplo, Boxing Lounge. Who else came through? Dub obviously was on the panel. Yeah, Mark Nash TV, and everybody that came through to support the channel, man. I appreciate you, man. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the show. Like I said, we're gonna be doing more brackets, more giveaways. We got to give out the prize money to Miss Winfrey and my man Zone 6, aka Coach K. They did the bracket for the debate series, so we're gonna go ahead, cash them out, make sure they do whatever they need to do with their bread. You know what I mean? So next time around, we do a bracket. Just fill the bracket out, man. Don't take no time. It's gonna take 5 minutes. And you can potentially win money. Free money, baby. Hey, who don't want free money? All right, so y'all boys, make sure y'all come into the show, man. This is your boy, Phil Walker. This is The Fix Sports TV, man. Y'all holler at me, man. Deuces.